The type of question that is not going to help you. Indira. Do you see where it is coming from? It is coming from the popular notion of spirituality, which has turned spirituality into a body of exotic, unquestionable, esoteric knowledge. Not as something that is raw, throbbing, not something that is palpable, that can be touched, that is direct. Just Google spiritual images. You will do that right now and see what kind of images you get. Somebody is meditating in the transcendental universe, with a ring around his head. See, this is spirituality for you.
Light from above.
Light from above, and does this pic show that the fellow wants to buy a new mobile phone tomorrow? It is not supposed to be talked of in spirituality, right? That the fellow is crazy after the latest model of mobile phone. You want to display him meditating atop some mountain and some divine light is falling on him, and you want to know what is the popular notion of spirituality and how it gets embedded in your mind. Tomorrow is Mahashivratri, and you will see a vulgar but spectacular display of how absolutely harmful notions are implanted in your mind. It would be very, very spectacular. It would be a blitzkrieg. It would be absolutely remarkable just for the optical value of it. You know what I'm talking of.
Millions of people get
And then you're not supposed to talk of things like how you are jealous of your neighbor. That's not supposed to be touched, you know. Let's talk only of Nad Brahm. Look at these images. Not one image that has anything to do with real life. not one image. Strange lights, clouds, some woman with her hair flying, arms extended, looking up at the sun. Some man whose brain seems to be bursting out into a mass of light.
Outer body experience.
Some fellow sitting in some asana, and there are a series of lights being displayed in his abdomen. It's almost like the fashion industry. Yeah, you have all fit models here, and there is a very clear dress code. When it comes to spiritual images, I don't see any fat fellow. Huh? And they are all young as well. This is crazy. Very soon they might declare that we stop calling these conversations as spiritual, because actually they don't fit at all within the commonly accepted framework of spirituality. They'll say what you're talking of is just normal mortal life. It is not spirituality. Spirituality is when you talk of halos and shooting stars and... Yes, Ashwin, what else? You have had an experience. And that helps, you know. When that is spirituality, far removed from life, then you can comfortably carry on with that which you take as life. Because spirituality is not supposed to impinge upon real life. It's supposed to be that.
So something like this is largely done by disabling the principle of right and wrong. Removing that out of the way and then building upon.
First of all, what is disabled is the right to question. So when all that nonsense begins, it begins typically by saying, well, you see, the tradition has been, well, you see, the yogic culture has been, well, you see, this the way India looks at it is. Now, you are not supposed to interrupt exactly then and there and ask, I'm not prepared to take anything on face value, I'm not prepared to let you continue with your blabber, when it is founded on the very statement that this is the way things have been. Why have things been this way? And I'm not even certain whether things have been this way. Forget about having a factual proof. Do you even have a scriptural proof? You just make something up, use that as the foundation of your words and action, and then you proceed to do anything which misleads a lot of people. The temple was the center of all high activity. The temple was not merely a place where you had an image or a deity established. It was the center of learning, it was the center of arts. All that which was high and noble in human activity used to happen in the temple. So the temple was a seat of all that was best about human life and activity. So you needed the temple. You could even call it, the high man's club that was present in every human settlement. That's a symbol. The word ling itself means symbol. So that you remember the transcendental reality, you require something physical, material to keep reminding you. The Shivling was used as that symbol. And it was not merely the Shivling that was used as a symbol, there were 1,000 other symbols as well. The symbol is of secondary importance. That which the symbol points at is primary. So there have been various symbols at various points in time, various places, for various people. It depends on your personality and temperament. What kind of symbol would work for you? It has to be a practical thing. Worship the symbol as long as you remember very well what you are worshipping through the symbol. After all, worshipping the infinite sky is difficult and absurd. So you will have to worship something that is more accessible, smaller, tangible. So you choose something or the other to worship. But you also have to constantly remember that it is really not the thing that's being worshipped, but something else through the thing. You see, Shiv is the timeless truth. Create timeless truth. What is night in the domain of timelessness? Please tell me. If Shiv stands for the timeless truth, from where do day and night come? At what time? So you are trying to say that the timeless is related to a particular time in the clock? Isn't that foolish? Those days were meant to remind you that there is something beyond day and night. Instead, if you let the day itself be so very decorated, and blown up and eulogized, then you are trying to suppress the reality. magnify the material pointer that was merely supposed to be a pointer to reality. The book is so sacred that it has to be kept in a special glass case. It has to be worshipped 3 times a day. It is so sacred that human fingers are not allowed to touch it. But of course you can sing and dance in front of it and do abhishekam and have large diyas and do a big aarti. All sorts of sights and sounds. In all this, what have you done to the message of the book? At the end of all those celebrations, would the celebrants be closer to the essence of Shiva? The timeless, spaceless essence of Shiv, the non-dual essence of Shiv? That's the only question that must be asked. A sensual treat has been served. A grand feast organized with a huge monetary expense. Has it brought the audiences to the non-dual essence of Shiva?